If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of everyone's favorite series, What Are They Cooking? We got some spicy replays to show you today. A lot of rated matches actually been submitted lately. As always, if you have your own replays that you would like to have featured on the channel, just go to the Discord link in the description. Go to the Edison Format replays channel and post them there. So starting off today, we have Electrum OTK or Chain Material OTK. You've probably, if you played during this time period, you've probably seen something like this before. There's a lot of these weird chain material combo things running around back in the day where you essentially use chain material with Fusion Gate to like fusion summon a bunch of things and try to OTK or do some weird stuff. In like 2011, you could just make a bunch of Ab Zeros and a bunch of Shinings and go plus a billion. And then when Blaze Phoenix came out, you can just like OTK, so there's a lot of dumb stuff, and we're going to be seeing what it can do here in Edison Format in this match up against what looks to be Blackwings. We're going to eat a Trap Dust Shoot, but it doesn't matter because we're just losing a Burst Tinatrix. Of course, we have to play Burst Tinatrix in the deck because it is crucial to make Elemental Hero Electrum, and Electrum lets us recycle all of the banished heroes so that we can keep fusion summoning over and over again. Unfortunately, we didn't set this chain material, and then it gets ripped out of the hand by a Spirit Reaper. Looks like we didn't shuffle off Dust Shoot, and as you can see, Mass Driver going to be crucial to the combo. So it looks like the goal is to use chain material with Fusion Gate to just summon infinite dudes with the whole Electrum loop thing, and then use Mass Driver to OTK. But not going to be happening that game, obviously. We were off to a very bad start, and we got our chain material ripped, and we don't have anything. So on to game number 2. We have what looks like a kind of standard hero beat hand. We just open up with Stratos Set Pass. And that's one of the things that's kind of cool about these Fusion Gate hero decks is that they can sort of operate like with like a standard hero beat deck some of the time if you need them to. So the opponent's going to go Attack Declaration, Icarus Attack, take out both our monsters. We summon Alias with the new Gem Spark that we drew. Very good spot to be in. Opponent goes Blizzard into Armed Wing. That's going to eat a Gemini Spark. We draw into a second Miracle, but Dark Arm gets dropped. They hit an MST. We chain. We hit the Oppression, though. Absolutely crucial. We needed to hit that. If we had hit the other back row, we would have actually lost the duel. So now we're going to go beat in with Bubble Man, actually, and Burst Tinatrix. It's just Bubble Man, Burst Tinatrix beat down. Actually, the Burst Tinatrix has to get deprisoned, or we are going to die. Opponent activates Legacy of Yada, activates Heavy Storm, and they're just going to summon Gale, beat over, set Mirror Force. So we'll probably activate Miracle Fusion and then just get Ab-Zero hit in, and that'll force out the back row. It'll take out the Gale, trade with both of them, and then we can just summon Ocean, set Mirror Force Pass, and then if we activate Mirror Force here, we win the game. But we're actually going to choose not to activate Mirror Force here. Why? The opponent's on 800 life. We would have just won. Okay, well now we're just greeting our Mirror Force until the end of time, or until we have to use it. We go for Hero Blast, Chain Spark after our dude gets bottomless. Now we go normal Clayman attack for. Okay, well, that one dragged on a little longer than it probably should have because we just didn't use Mirror Force there, but that's all good. This hand, we open up Mass Driver. We got a Sark for Chain Material, so we have the combo if we could just last 2 turns, but lasting 2 turns with Blackwings can kind of be easier said than done here. We have the Torrential, which is decent. Neo's Alias beats in. Opponent goes Brain, Sirocco, and then actually it's like 3 turns, right? Because we have to get the chain material to hand, and we have to set it, and then just wait a turn. Fortunately, the opponent doesn't have anything to disrupt us. Like no Icarus Attack, no Typhoon, no Solemn, so we can just go for it here, right? We activate Chain Material, we activate Miracle Fusion, normal Stratos, so we're just trying to pick off the back row, go Mass Driver, Tribute, and then that's going to take out the Sirocco, meaning no more Icarus Attack from this point. We activate Fusion Gate, start Fusion Summoning, make Electrum. Electrum puts everything back, of course, and this is an infinite loop because now we can just keep Fusion Summoning from the deck with Fusion Gate, tributing all the guys, and make everything again, make Electrum, put it all back. So yeah, obviously this is just full infinite combo, and the opponent gets killed slowly by Mass Driver. So we finally get to see the Electrum OTK work in game number 3. Next match we have is actually another rated match between Dragons and Diva Hero. This, of course, not being Turbo, being more the standard, Raikou Trap Dragons. We need a name for it. I suggested in the chat that we call it Dragro. And people seem to like that name, so maybe I'm going to start calling it that in my videos. but it hasn't really caught on yet, so I don't know. I don't want to confuse anyone, you know. But we have a decent opening with Drago. Drago just like stops everything right now. They can't Prodigy, they can't Gores, they can't Dark Armed. Oh man, it's not good. They could set Prodigy maybe, and just hope it gets run over, but they have to mirror this thing first. So they just have to mirror force this Drago. All right, well, here's what they could do. They could few. Can they send another Dark from their deck? Actually, I don't think. There's another. No. They've drawn all the Prodigies, so they can't set up Dad with Future Fusion, unfortunately. They go for Stardust. Stardust's not going to work out because it just eats a compulsory immediately, but that's like still a good trade. Now here we have to decide what to do. Opponent's going to go activate the Future Fusion, figuring if any big plays happen, there's probably going to be a Drago. And that's definitely going to be true because they summon Red Med, Synchro, bring back Drago, and that's just like lethal on board, right? That's 6,900, and they're only at 61. So we're going to be going to a game number 2. Unfortunate for the Diva Hero player there in game number 1. Kind of got like bodied by the Drago, had to overcommit to deal with it. Man, here is a kind of mediocre opening hand from the Diva Hero player. A lot of times I feel like 2 Prodigy just feels kind of mid. Like this card is bricky, and yeah, I never really feel like you need 2. I think you just need like 1 in most decks that play it, but Diva Hero often just plays 2, so I'm not sure. I'm not like a Diva Hero player or anything, but it always feels like 2 is just like too many, in my opinion. So they're just going to try to summon out Red Med with no dragons anywhere, and it eats a bottomless, and then they chain Compulse. So now they're going to summon Red Med again. We special the first Prodigy, but we can't Black Rose, so we have to go for some other play here, like Brionac. All right, Brionac bounce. Well, that just puts Red Med back to their hands, so the minute they draw a dragon, we're in some serious trouble. We can go... Are we seriously going to just use Brain Caius with this play? I guess we are. It hits a pulling the rug. We go for E-Call, Stratos. Stratos gets bottomless. We get Malicious. And then, what, we find Dad, Heavy Storm, Miracle Fusion. That kind of sets up Return, but they need more if they want to kill. We draw into Torrential. We go Breaker. Breaker gets Torrentialed rough. The opponent sets. Now we flip Return from the Different Dimension because we can summon Dad, Synchro off, summon Caius. Yeah, that's just a bajillion damage. Crazy ending there with the big RFDD push. On to game number 3. Game number 3, we are opening up with Future Fusion in the Dragon deck. That is quite a good start. We're going to bring back Red Med. Heavy Storm, though, kind of helps, but we can't out the Red Med straight off the bat here. We try to go for something, but we do not find it. We're going to have to hope for a follow-up play next turn with Prodigy, but the Drago is going to make that hard. Opponent goes for Brain Control. It's actually super greedy. Oh, they're just going for it. They're just going for it. We're going to Caius the back row. We're going to summon out the second Red Med, bring out Drago, and just attack for game. Okay, well, it works because the set was an MST. So, yeah, Dragon's going to end up taking that one. Next up, this is an interesting one. This is just some high-rated match that someone found with Shine Ball Fairies. I don't know what's exactly going on with this deck. Someone's just trying to play like Agent of Venus Fairies. So, you know, you pay life points to special a bunch of Shine Balls from your deck. If you played any time in 2011, 2012, you're probably familiar with this card. Of course, was used to make Gotchi many a time in the Agent deck. James, though, opening just a terrible hand. He has all 3 Coelacanths in his opening hand. How did that happen? And the Tongio, too. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. But the opponent's hand is also quite bad, which... Granted, in their case, it might be because they're trying to play Shine Ball Fairies. So they just got like triple Christia, triple Shine Ball in this deck. Although, and Avarice as well, because they want to Avarice back their Shine Balls. And it looks like they're also playing a Sork. James just goes for the Coelacanth play. Unfortunately, it was exactly Torrential Tribute, which outside of Solemn Judgment was basically the only thing that could answer that. We're going to go set Hamster. So it looks like they're playing Hamster Raikou. I wonder how many Hamster Raikou they are playing. This deck might need more starters because it's like Venus is only sometimes a good opening draw too. But we're going to resummon Coelacanth. However, we already kind of blew our load and we don't really have a follow-up. We don't have enough stuff in our deck, right? Like, we summoned this. We summoned some Oysters and some Fishborgs, and the Tongio is in our hand. So we don't really have anything to bring out with the coelacanth. Do we really not have even one fish left in our deck? Is that all of them? Because I think it just summons as many as possible, right? We must just not have any. Anyway, we're going to use coelacanth here with Fishborg to make Stardust. It just hits over a Shine Ball. How many fairies are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3. So when this one gets run over, Christia is actually going to be live, which is good because they've got all 3 Christias and double Avarice in there. And they're also playing Purple Light, which highly questionable in my opinion. And, perhaps even more questionable is that they don't Purple Light this T-Roar, because, like, how many chances are you really going to get to use this Purple Light in this matchup? We can just go set Hamster, which obviously it doesn't work under our Christia, so I guess Raikou wouldn't have worked under the Stardust, but it would have traded for it at least. So yeah, James going to go for Econ. Use Swap to bounce the Christia. I guess it's like the only out he has. And then we set Shine Ball. We go Call. We're just going to make Bryo Christia again, huh? All right, yeah. Well, rough game 1 for James there. On to game number 2. Let's see. James is going to be opening up kind of, it's like could be better. We have a Venus into triple Shine Ball opening by the opponent. We're going to summon Royal Swamp Eel, attack, and pass. Here we go for Brio Christia, absolutely, right? So Brio can out the dupe, and then we hit over both, or we hit over the Swamp Eel, we attack directly. James has to go for Econ. Unfortunately for the opponent, this Orange Light is actually not live, otherwise they would have just like straight won the game there. So we're going to go Substitute, finally set up Treeborn, and then hopefully go for a coelacanth play next turn. Here we have a Charge of the Light Brigade, however, this isn't going to work because it's going to get Sork into Vanity summoned, meaning that James just can't play the game now. Solak's going to be used into summon Caius into deal 1,000 burn. Well, that was a little questionable. But unfortunately, Vanity's Fiend just remains in play, and yeah, it doesn't look like James is going to be winning this one. Honest going to hit over the set monster, and Vanity's Fiend going to attack for a game. So, rough one for sure. I guess that was Shine Ball Fairies. Definitely a build that exists. All right, final match. It's just another one of this dude playing Reptiles. I don't know. I think this deck's cool, and he always submits a good quality rated match of it. So, yeah, this is up against Macro Monarchs. I think the Reptile deck is actually pretty good against this sort of matchup because you play so much random removal for stuff. Like, you play Raikou Caius on top of, your staples like Heavy Typhoon, and then you also play Offerings to the Snake Deity ×3, which can just like out anything. And you also play Ananta ×2, which can also out anything. So you just play like a ton of ways to pick off random cards. It is quite good. Here we're going to see the Voski come out, which pretty good. The main problem here is that the Survivor, he be surviving. We gotta deal with that thing. I mean, against this deck, you mainly just gotta have outs to Macrocosmos, which, like I said, we play a billion outs to Macrocosmos. Here's one of them. Evil Dragon Ananta coming down. The opponent tries to Judgment that, but we're going to Judgment back. We're going to set Mirror Force. Ananta's going to pop that Macrocosmos. Opponent goes for Caius. They Caius the Gores, try to attack into the Ananta. That gets met with a Mirror Force. And then here, the Ananta is just going to pick off another card. We go for the Marshmallow. The opponent activates Di-Fi. So now, Ananta is going to pick off another card. We hit the back row. It's a Starlight Road. Here we go for Typhoon. And now, Ananta is going to pick off another card. He's actually going to pop our own Dust Shoot just to keep the Offerings live, which we should have used in end phase. But I guess we didn't have guaranteed lethal there, whereas now we do. But unfortunately, the T-Roar is going to be chained. Why is the opponent even playing T-Roar, actually? That's a little weird. We hit it as Morphing Jar, which gives the opponent a chance to get back in the game. One of the best possible top decks I think they could have had. We set everything. Opponent's going to just play all their cards. We end phase Compulse. We go for game. That's going to be met with a Battle Trap, though. Now we go Caius on the Di-Fi, eats a Bottomless, but overall good trade. We activate Foolish Burial, send Dandelion, so we got 3 tokens now. Opponent summons Assailant, we Bottomless, we go Caius on the back row, and that's going to be it. On to game number 2. Okay, game number 2, we open up a hand that is okay. Raikou out Di-Fi seems like a pretty good plan, unless it gets Caius, that would suck, but it doesn't, so we're going to get rid of that thing. And, yeah, I mean, it's just, like, hard to conceive of how this macro deck keeps their Floodgate on the field in this matchup, because you just have so much stuff to kill it. So we hit in, we get deprisoned, whatever. Opponent sets. We set. We should probably be playing around Morphing Jar because we saw it. And we get Morphing Jar, and this is quite rough for us because we lose our Brain Caius play. And wait, did we only draw... Oh, did we only draw 4 cards there? Was that a replay glitch? What is that? I'm not sure, but we play into a Torrential Tribute. Opponent gets Bottomless. I mean, we are not a great spot. We can summon this. Gardna, very obviously telegraphing that we have offerings, which do we actually have it? We do. Sometimes you can like screw with people and bluff that you have offerings when you don't. So we just go for random offerings. It gets met with Starlight Road. We probably should have Torrentialed that Warrior Lady when it hit the field because now our Gorz is stuck being dead in our hand. Yeah, it would have traded with Stardust or Dark Bribe at least. We go for Cold Wave, but Wabaku getting chained is rough. Now we have to summon a Nanta. We could have chained MST to the Wabaku maybe to try to force out the Stardust. And then we could have summoned a Nanta and then, you know, just started killing stuff. But it doesn't seem that's going to work. And yeah, that 3k Ananta would have soloed the whole game, by the way, because it would have just kept killing things and they wouldn't have had an out. So we have a charge that we can't use. We have a Foolish that we can't use. We have a Debris that's maybe live. What do we can go for Black Rose probably later. We go set Offering. We go set Judgment. So now we go for Black Rose, right? We have Black Rose. We have Judgment protecting this, but I think the opponent has a Dark Bribe, so we're just going to lose the duel at that point and go next. A little bit of a rough game number 2 there. On to game number 3. We open up Dust Shoot. We open up Foolish and Debris as well, so we could just make like Stardust and Dust Shoot them. I mean, that's probably a good opening. That probably wins the game. We take away the Caius, and the opponent's hand is just like cards that don't do anything. It's just Sakuretsu doesn't do anything. Allure with no darks. T-Roar doesn't do anything. Deprison, I guess, could out the Stardust, but we know it's there, and we're going to play around it either way. So we just hit with the Card Trooper. We're actually going to Stardust negate the Sakuretsu, which is funny. I mean, I might have just let that Sakuretsu go, honestly. Opponent tries to chain macro to Card Trooper effect, but that is not how that works. They go summon Survivor, beat over our guy, gets banished, rough, but we draw Fasky. That's so good. Kill the Survivor, attack in. It eats a Deprison, but now we know the Deprison is gone, so the Stardust can just attack, and we set Raikou. Raikou can just out this Macrocosmos. Again, we just like always have the out. We draw MST, opponent activates Di-Fi, they hit into our 2k Defender. Now we're going to bring out a Nanta. We're going to bring out a Nanta. Okay, we're going to Typhoon first. Alright, I guess that's fine. We go end phase, pick off a card, and we just got a 3k Ananta here. The opponent has to answer, or it's going to kill a card every turn. So, yeah, we set we're just passing. We're just going to pass, and we're going to let Ananta solo the entire game for us again. So, let's see how many cards this Ananta kills. It's killed, what, 1 or 2 so far? We go Caius back row. That's not going to work. Ananta, kill another one. We attack over token. Alright, we go Brain Control. We go Caius, a back row. Ananta's just gonna kill something. All right, we just win the game here, right? Yeah, surely this is game over. Man, yeah, Ananta really just like showing off the power of that card in this matchup. It just like, you put it in defense against this kind of deck, and it just like kills something every turn, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's so broken. All right, well, yeah, that's all the replays I got for you today. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.